What's going on, y'all? KM Best here with an Elsa Bloodstone deck that I used to cruise to top 10 Infinite in the early metagame. Let's take a look at the deck. All right, y'all, this is the list. I used more or less this list from 70 all the way to 100. And I will say they did a lot of things to improve the climb. I will say it was definitely more of an actual challenge this time, my hardest climb by far. But the reason it was such a hard climb was I basically spent the entire time playing all the same people that I would be playing in very high Infinite, except I was rank 87 or whatever. So really, I kind of took this deck through its paces. They got rid of a significant amount of the bots. It looks like there were a few that were there. But this was a deck that we played against a lot of humans, and not just humans, like really good players, like people that, like, I played against the current rank 1 player, Young Wave. I played against Dara a bunch. I played against Revis a bunch. I like just a bunch of really good players. This is a deck that actually has been stress tested, unlike many other early meta decks that you see. In previous months, those had the risk of being, you know, a bot deck. This one is not. And I do think that there are a couple of interesting play lines here that may not be apparent immediately. And I do think right now this is currently my favorite version of Elsa Bloodstone, because I tend towards these like slightly minimalist, cheaper, more flexible builds of it. But we're going to talk about the cards you can run in it and the cards that you can replace and alternate builds of the deck as well. The key card to the list is Elsa Bloodstone, who is extremely powerful. Her ability to give cards 3 additional power is maybe something that just sort of seems very strong and is very strong. I will say I don't think she is as good as Loki was on Loki release. I think playing Loki was just like, oh my god, this is so absurd. Playing Elsa is a lot more fair, a lot more, you're doing things that are very strong, but fundamentally you're still playing Marvel Snap instead of Marvel Loki. So I don't think, first things first, that she is as good as her predecessor on the season pass, but she is extremely undercosted for what she actually does. In most games, she ends up being a 2-8, a 2-11, a 2-14, and that is, like, when you say it like that, it's pretty absolutely ridiculous. And the way in which we use Elsa means that a lot of the play patterns in this deck are going to be different from a typical bounce list, where a lot of the bounce decks is like, all right, we got to play the Angela here, we got to play the Bishop here, we got to split up our power, we got to focus on playing a bunch of kitties. And the thing about Elsa is she's just so much more important to set up than Kitty is to play. Because once you get that Elsa onto a kitty, it's like you played that kitty 3 times. Like, that's actually the key thing that really helped me level up with this deck, was understanding that a lot of games we're just playing like Nightcrawler, Elsa, 2-drop Kitty. And that's just like the strongest thing we can do. There are going to be a lot of players who are used to playing old bounce decks that are going to get less out of this list because they're not properly abusing Elsa. Like, you could still be a bounce deck, but if you have Elsa, you do kind of have to prioritize her. Elsa on Kitty, Elsa on Nightcrawler, Elsa on Jeff are the main things that we're attempting to accomplish here. Now, you do have to plan out a lot of your turns along the lines of making sure Elsa is on as early as you possibly can. She does a ton of work, but you need to make her good. She's not exactly plug and play. You do have to actually plan this stuff out. If you, like, I have done things like play Bast into Angela on the same lane. Like, that is not a play I would normally make in any other bounce deck, but because I can draw Elsa and Kitty the next turn, it's a play I make a decent amount of the time. Bishop actually becomes very awkward here. Because you want to be doing Elsa stuff as early as you can, taking a turn off to play Bishop tends to be a little bit weird, because you tend to be like, all right, Bishop, you're going to go hold down this lane, but that's actually a little bit of a lower priority some of the time compared to going off with Elsa. I actually think that a card like Mobius is critically important to decks like this in order to play through Wave. You still end up running into some problems against Sandman, but luckily those are few and far between at the moment, and Wave is a legitimate problem that this deck actually solves. Mobius is also extremely powerful on locations like Elysium, Dark Dimension. He's basically Luke Cage plus. Speaking of Luke Cage, he would be one of the cards that you could run in the Mirage slot. The logic behind Mirage is that it's quite solid in mirrors. I have been playing Mirage also because I am interested in getting a unit, basically. I just want a unit on the board that is also going to allow me to play some other stuff later, because without actual bounce in this deck, the role Mirage is playing is sort of filling up your curve when you don't have anything to do later. And obviously, Mirage is actually insane in mirrors. Getting like a Mysterio that has 6 power. Keep in mind, if you get a Mysterio that has 6 power, the clones also have 2. It is a ridiculous thing to get with a Mirage, and it happens a lot in the mirrors the way they tend to play out. It's an extremely powerful play. You get those, sometimes you get a Kitty if you play it on 2 when they're playing an Angela, something like that. It's just ridiculous, right? Like, it is consistently solid in mirrors and has been very good at filling out the curve in other matchups, which is pretty important. If you don't have Mirage, I think there are a couple options. Luke Cage is a card that it probably should be Luke Cage. Like, just a card that prevents your opponent from being able to Shadow King your stuff. You're pretty reliant on buffs that happen in a way that Shadow King can negatively impact them. Luke Cage prevents that from happening. It's also just obviously very good when there are negative locations on the board, which are normally a bad thing for you to see. I haven't played with Iron Man on the Luke Cage spot, but one of the things I noticed when playing this list was that Bast was not really as good as I would want her to be. And also, the problem Mirage is solving is having stuff to do late. I think there's some merit to an Iron Man in that slot, because that is obviously something to do late, and because it is just an incredibly powerful play, and because it's very solid in mirrors. It hits a lot of the same things as Mirage. I just instinctively move away from big clunky stuff when I play a deck. It hits a lot of the same things as Mirage. I just instinctively move away from big clunky stuff when I play a deck like this, but I think it could very well be an upgrade. So if you don't have Mirage, play either Luke Cage or Iron Man. Honorable mention to Mojo, who we did consider, but I think it would probably pretty clearly be Luke Cage or Iron Man. I would lean toward Iron Man. I actually think I would lean toward Iron Man just generally, but I haven't played it in this list in that spot. I haven't fully tested it. I haven't fully put it through its paces, and I don't like to put things in my videos on my Twitter that I haven't put through their paces. Some cards that were in there and are no longer in there. Beast, Falcon, and the Hood were all things we tried. But one of the things I realized pretty swiftly was that the actual best thing to be doing was just Elsa as much as you possibly can, and Beast, Falcon, and the Hood conflict a lot with your other cards that you want to be playing early. You are not really able to get good Elsa value out of a lane that you put a Bishop in, because now you suddenly want to Beast that. Like, he wasn't awful, but the real thing that caused me to drop Beast was the preponderance of Mobius in the meta. And if he actually is just 3/4 Falcon, he's pretty damn bad. The Hood wasn't awful. I don't think it was complete garbage but I did come away thinking like, all right, of these cards, Falcon is actually better. And if Falcon is actually better, I probably don't want to be playing either of them. I do consider the rest of the deck list fairly straightforward. The main nuances that you'll run into are going to be in terms of ordering in a deck like this being different from your typical bounce deck. A lot of the things that you're normally used to doing in bounce decks, like, oh, let me play my Kitty every turn. You don't have to do that, right? You get to prioritize other things. The most important thing to do with Kitty is make sure you're getting Elsa procs on her. So paradoxically, it ends up being a little bit better to go like Nightcrawler, Angela, Elsa, Kitty. That's better for your Kitty than any other option that you have. That's like the best possible thing you can do for your Kitty. It's better than playing it 1, 2, 3. The earlier you can get that to happen, the better the Kitty is going to be at the end game. So you're way better off just like one lane, dump stuff in there, get a Kitty in there, get as much power out of Elsa as you can, than you are playing this like a typical bounce list. You can play it like a typical bounce list in the absence of Elsa. There's nothing wrong with that. I actually kind of did note that, like, Hitmonkey and Mysterio were very good, but when the deck was going off, it kind of didn't need them. So I'm very interested to see where this kind of archetype goes, but I honestly do feel like there's just a ton of power in this deck. And I think maybe, we put an Iron Man in there, we see how it goes, but I think this might be legit, legit, legit. I had a solid, solid, solid win rate with it against really, really tough competition. This is a solid list, and there's no two ways around it. So we're going to jump from here into some gameplay from my climb. Thank you so much for making it this far. I really appreciate it. As always, I've been Cam Best. You be good. I'll see you in the next one. Oh my god. No. No. It's Cam worst. Oh god. Is Cam worst? He's in my Discord. How does this fare into Loki? It's okay. Where are all the pumper bots? Dude, I don't know, and it's killing me. I think I'm interested in Vibraniums here. Cause next turn we're definitely just doing some Elsa kitty stuff. So I'm interested in a 1. Okay. Julio. Let's do some Elsa kitty stuff. It's not the Elsa kitty stuff I planned on, but I can't complain about it. Whoa, I'm getting snapped on. Alright, look, I'm too tired to figure out if that's a thing to do. I'm too tired to figure out if I'm fucking dead here. I don't plan on figuring it out. I smell a hazmat? I don't think that's an unreasonable read. I just don't really know if that's actually something that beats us. GG was the last guy? GG's. I've been workshopping stuff tonight. Okay. Okay. Tonight? I mean, it is tonight for me. It is tonight for me. Sure, dude. Uh-huh. Do I die here? I think we go for a tiebreaker and I win it, correct? I believe. Oh, we don't even go for a tiebreaker. They just fucking die. All right, cool. They're just dead. We don't even go for a tiebreaker. They're just actually fucking dead. All right. Positive. Is there any good deck with Elsa without Monkey? Honestly, there might be, but I haven't explored that yet. That's the honest answer. There honestly might be. It is entirely plausible, but I have not gotten to it yet. If there is. Stuck in a game versus bot. Oh, okay. Jet, literally, turn off the game. Turn off the game. That's all you have. This is like actually it. Turn off the game entirely. Leave it for an hour. You'll be fine. Not joking. I know it sounds insane. That is actually what it works. Has it seemed more difficult? Yes. No, it's not that, Scott. They changed something on the back end again. I don't know what the fuck it is, but they did. As always, they felt the need to change something on the back end, and it made things more annoying. They're always noodling. Yep. In case of Beast, I'll play out the Mobius. I'm not particularly worried about it, but it does seem possible. Bishop. Good. Double hood, huh? Wild. Interesting situation here, honestly. Do we think this Crossbones is big enough to win Xandar? It might be. It might be big enough to win Xandar. Maybe? $25. Let's see. Let's see what they have. Demon? Demon? Alright, we got him. No tiebreaker? Tiebreaker loss. Wait, maybe? We win the tiebreaker by 1 point. Holy shit. 20-0, 30-11. Oh shit. I'm legitimately not sure. Like, I find it hard to believe there's something legitimately wrong. I just looked really closely at Elsa. What is going on with her nose? Oh, that is... Damn, that's... It's like a... Okay, yeah, I see it. Yeah, the meta is good right now. I don't know why people are like, ooh, Aliyah. Ooh. You know? It's like, alright, sure, Aliyah. I mean, this is a bunch of shit. Oh, I'm gonna start doing some dumb shit. Now I need to use a fucking different Elsa skin. Damn. Probably the Chavez rework. No, dude, Chavez rework is way fucking further down than this. I do not expect a Chavez rework anytime soon. I don't expect that shit anytime even close to soon. What the fuck are you doing? What are you cooking? Yeah, they're considering it. I made a video about it. Why don't buff Jeff after Kitty? I wish I had now, because they're likely a Killmonger deck. Maybe I can throw priority somehow. When the changes will go live, I don't know. Seems unlikely I can throw priority, so I'm just going to keep doing this. What rank you at? Like 98. It's sad, slow going. I think I've probably got like an hour in me. Okay. Cook. I don't know. Maybe it's not an easy one. I'm not doing any math here. I'm just clicking buttons. If I get there, I get there. I feel good about this, but I'm just clicking buttons, dude. Snap going into the season, but this is a really good card. $8,600 SP? That's criminal. That's criminal. We gotta do better than that. Hello, Mobius. Right, so now I just do this all the time. Ooh, yeah, we're not getting waved. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like not getting waved. Because I don't know the ordering on this, but maybe there's a chance that Cyclops goes off after Central Park or some shit. Yay! We actually did dodge a -1 there. Talent on display here, chat. Talent on display. Hello. Hello. All right. You actually waving me right now? Okay, you're not waving me. Solid. Elsa writes we can Jeff write, or do we want Prio for the fart? I actually don't think it matters. The fart isn't like a big concern here, actually. I don't believe him to be. That Shang-Chi doesn't work. The Shang-Chi doesn't work. But my Shang-Chi works. So... Okay, yeah, they leave. Yeah, when we both mob, things are good. Mob everywhere. Now, granted, is that because I'm running him in my deck? Fucking maybe. Maybe it is. Normally I'd snap this, but I want to make sure they don't have a Mobius. Alright, so they have a loot cage. I'll just start doing this now. I hope they don't have a Mobius, but if they do, I've gotten fairly far ahead. What I'm worried about is a Shadow King, right? You're playing Loot Cage. I feel like you must also be playing Shadow King, and that is my worry. C2? C2? How's Elsa? She's quite powerful. We thinking this C2? Oh my god. I'm thinking it's C2. Okay, it's not C2. Alright. So, that's 11. Plus 19 is enough to beat the middle even if they do that. Plus 7 plus 12. Correct? Oh, just a fart? Okay, yeah, you don't beat me on a fart. Don't you surf for more instead? Can you explain to me how Surfer does anything for me there? How does Surfer do anything for me there? Am I stupid, or do I not have a single 3-drop? Am I an idiot? I there's no 3 drops. I really wonder. Because I think I get a decent amount of equity by not snapping people who would not stay. I really wonder if that person would have stayed if I had snapped. It's a thought that occurs to me. Fart Brain is so powerful. It's one of the most powerful forces on Earth. It's an unbelievably powerful force. What would be a decent replacement for Monkey? See, I don't know. That's the thing. I feel like she's quite strong. I'm 9100 SP. Right, you're probably as high as anyone gets, Young Wave. Young Wave absolutely popping off. Young Wave in beast mode. I don't want to play this Nightcrawler. I think I'm right not to want to play this Nightcrawler. Rank 1? You fucker. You're in my spot. If only you'd waited. Do you snap more aggressive in Conquests? I don't think I do. Sun is up? Not for me. Sun is down. Freezing cold. That's how you already know that it's here. My dog will probably do it for a Louis Bell. I tried to show him. That's just what he know. He don't know nothing else. You're saying people cried like they weren't right. They were right, by the way. They were correct about that assessment. It's actually this, I think. Is this the list or nah? Probably. Don't wave me is basically where my head is at here. What's that gonna be? Patriot. Fuck. Oh, that's really good. Is this now still winnable? Oh, damn. Patriot's so scary. Fuck. Oh. All right, so we have just that's like 7 in the middle, right? The issue is they just have another Patriot, which is absolutely fucking horrifying. And I don't know if we can beat it. But they also could Eliath me, which is the scary thing. I can beat a Patriot, but I don't think I can beat an Eliath. Do we play this for 4 and say you're playing the Patriot you just got? Preach. We fucking got him. We got him, dude. What's up? Wait. Why didn't they play Patriot Surfer? In what fucking world? We know you have Patriot. Why didn't you do it? Oh, Chavez! Oh! Whew. What is this, an evening stream? It's actually a morning stream, and we just hit infinite. We did it. Let's see where we're at. Rank 10. No! I'm so shit. I'm so shit. All right, now we do a clickbait video. Top 10 infinite.